Now we're going to see an amazing piece of art from what I would call an abstract artist on TikTok.
More like fart.
Now, her username is Body Pause Jewel, which should already tell you where we're going to go with this. Body Positive Jewel. So you can already tell where she leans. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys just a disclaimer, a little warning here, is that you might want to turn your volume down a little bit on this one because she's extremely loud, as a lot of leftists tend to be.
When you can't have a good argument, you just get louder.
Exactly right. So let's hear it.
Hey girlies, this is your sign to not celebrate the 4th of July! A holiday celebrates the independence of the 13 colonies from England when we literally got our independence and immediately stole land and committed genocide! How can we celebrate independence and being the best country in the world when we live on stolen land? How can we celebrate independence when slavery is still instated in our prison system? Y'all!
Okay, I'm halfway through. Is there anything that you want to respond to? Although it's like I just got berated.
I couldn't even hear this.
I mean, I know. I had to take the headphones off because it was
I have to
so
think about it again.
No, do you guys have? Okay, there's a comedian in the '80s named Sam Kinison, and this was his whole shtick. Was he would like say something really quiet, and he's like, "Yeah, my wife asked me to click that just the other day," and he would like scream. Like, that's literally what I'm thinking this whole time as this girl's doing this.
Except
but she's not being funny. It's like
not
actually
funny or entertaining at all.
Like, she can't wait for dinner. She's going to eat the AirPod.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
I mean, just like, it's so hard to have a civil discussion with anybody who's like this.
Yeah, imagine trying to go out and have a conversation with this person.
It wouldn't work. Yeah. It wouldn't work. I'm going to try to...
What do you think about racism?
I hate white people! I don't want to hear about people!
It's crazy.
But I think I'm just going to try to put together a little bit about what she said. This was a TikTok in relation to the 4th of July. She says she doesn't understand why we're celebrating the 4th of July when we refuse to admit that we are on stolen land.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what she's trying to say.
That is what she's trying to say, which is so stupid.
You know, I saw this funny tweet the other day. I wish I could find it, but this woke activist who happens to be of Native American descent on Twitter posted something similar, like an anti-4th of July message. I forget what the specifics were, but it was basically like the whole stolen land argument. And someone in the replies like responded to him calling out America for stealing land and saying we shouldn't celebrate 4th of July because of that, by pointing out that his tribe, like in the 1800s, stole the land from two other tribes and killed all of them.
Right.
Exactly, dude. These people have been fighting for generations, okay? We fought a war, and the Native Americans lost, okay?
Right.
That is what happened. And also, the number one question to ask, is America worth it? Was America worth it? Even if we did horrible things and things our ancestors of generation did bad things, was it worth it to have America? I think most people in the world would say yes. America is the greatest country to ever exist, the greatest empire to ever exist. I think that America was worth it. And Dennis Prager asked Howard Zinn that same question in an interview that he did before Howard Zinn died, when asking him about people's history of America. Mm-hmm. And he said it wasn't worth it. It was a great question. And it's a good question for you guys to ask people on the left when they bring up this argument. Do they think America's worth it? If they think America's worth it but still think that there was some bad stuff, you can have a conversation with people. If people don't think that America was worth it, you got nothing else to talk about.
Lost. It's a loss. But even if they don't think America's worth it, every single land of which you stand on was inhabited by some other person at some other time. It's just a ridiculous argument. And it goes to the same when we talk about slavery and Jim Crow and all that stuff. There's no country, no place in the world that has not at some point participated in slavery, of enslavement of some form of people. There's no race in this world that has not undergone enslavement. So what are you talking about? And why do you only attribute it to America? And why are we still discussing it to this day?
Because America's so powerful. America's so powerful, and so people have it so good in this country that they're able to say bad things about it.
Right.
And it's a Marxist view of the world that's obsessed with power, and it's obsessed with taking power from people who have power and taking it for yourself, because you would build a utopia that's better than the terrible country that exists now and has all the power, which is not true. And that's the whole point of what you're saying. Like, it was America worth it? Like, America was a project, an experiment in, a country founded on Enlightenment liberalism and Judeo-Christian values, and that is what unlocked the most prosperity, the most equality, the greatest country the world has ever seen, and that was worth it. Even so, we don't have to whitewash history. Like, yeah, there were some questionable actions along the way. It wasn't executed in perfect morality, but the end result is a more moral and more exceptional country than any other country that has ever existed on planet Earth. And that in and of itself was worth it, because that was progress. And what they're doing is not making us to progress further. They're taking us back toward a more primitive state and toward a more unequal state.
A country that gives you individual liberties, where they all across the world, there was no country that gave you those individual liberties. Carl Jung, the psychiatrist in the 1900s, talks about individuation, which is about essentially you becoming yourself, becoming an individual and becoming the best version of yourself. But the Marxist, leftist, collectivist view wants you to think like everyone else. What does the herd do? The herd comes together and they say the people who are better than us are worse off because they are better than us. They say they are worse people, and they're doing this with America. They say America is a horrible place because the values that America represents are better values than the ones that they represent. Do you understand this? It is an envious, jealous, collective mentality of these leftists when they come on and say America is a horrible place. That is what it is.
And they will come for you. They will come for you, because as so long as you are living by upstanding conservative values and you have a successful, happy life, they will not like you because they inherently are unhappy and unsuccessful in their lives. And it's funny that once they do get a little ounce of a success from our American system, they sort of step out of the movement. Look at Patrice Cullors, who got, $4 million worth of real estate here in the United States, and then decided to step down from BLM and just step out of the movement.
4 houses later.
Yeah, 4 houses later.
Man, if I got 4 houses working at PragerU, I'd quit. You, America, it's been real. All right, you guys have a good time, but I got 4 houses.
Yeah, so I think an innate part of being a leftist.
Dream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. An innate part of being a leftist is just being unhappy.
Even that's how good America is. Even when you hate America, you're still living the dream. You can talk about hating America and still make it.
Yep.
You can hate America and still make it and get tons of money.
Which is exactly what she did. Now, this very stable young lady that we've been watching, Body Pause Jewel, is going to tell us how we should be spending our Independence Day from here on out. Let's finish this up, if we can, without going deaf.
This is not the greatest country on the earth unless you're talking about bad healthcare, COVID deaths, and mass incarceration! And please, if you actually have money to spend on the 4th of July, instead of buying the American flag shirt, maybe think of doing something else, like donating to help natives, signing a petition, stop doing performative activism. Okay, you posted a black square, great. What are you doing to actively help the black communities in our country? There's a lot more we could be doing. So use that day off for the 4th of July and do some good.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh,
there's the activism.
there's if you can't win an argument, just curse and yell loudly.
Yes.